Hi everyone, I'm Teacher Margie. Napanood niyo ba ang online orientation ng Performance Management and Evaluation System? Sa video na ito, ipapakita ko sa inyo ang recorded online orientation ng Performance Management and Evaluation System.
So, bago po ako magsimula, let me start off with what are the issues that have been found in the previous implementation of the RPMS PPSC. As you can see in the slide, and po, these are the three issues reported about the RPMS PPSC. First one, excessive workload and burden, especially as mentioned by USEC in the preparation of teachers' portfolio. And the second one is that the idea of too many MOVs and costly RPMS portfolio, which requires producing different MOVs, in fact, duplicate copy, triplicate, and many more. So, yan po yung nakarating po sa atin na feedback about the RPMS PPSC. The third one is what we call subjective performance assessment, possibly in the absence of the rubric, the appreciation of the document, and many results that we can cite based on the feedback that we gather. So, based on this, we are actually in the process of revising already DepEd Order number 2. Or the previous RPMS policy po natin. However, the revised DepEd order on the performance management and evaluation system is still at a finalization phase. So, the interim guidelines on PMES for teachers for this school year is issued with a very good news for each and every one of us, specifically yung simplified process and the requirements for our teachers. So having said that, excited na po ba ang lahat? Okay, so allow me to brief you and provide an overview about the salient feature of the interim guidelines. So this is contained in DepEd Memorandum 17, Series of 2025. So the first one is on the reduced number of classroom observation from 4 to 1 or 2 full period. So later po, having said that, teachers will be given an option whether they will take 1 or 2 full classroom observations. And the second one is that we remove already the plus factor as part of the key result areas. So in the previous implementation of the plus factor, it is considered as another KRA po, yung dati po nating implementation, which we refer to value-adding contribution or accomplishments, which are not covered by or during regular duties and responsibilities of the teacher. So this would mean that part of the documentation includes coordinatorship, other non-teaching activities, tasks. But with the issuance of rationalizing teacher workload, yan po, this plus factor will contradict that policy. So thus, we removed already the plus factor as KRA. However, teachers reported that moreover, aside from that it contradicts the policy, we hear the sentiments of our teachers that this plus factor contributes to, the burden and the stress of complying, especially for RPMS rating. So that's why po the technical working group deleted already or removed the plus factor as part of the KRA so that teachers will be focusing now or assessing performance that are teaching focus on teaching. Okay, so the third one is that we, as mentioned by Jose Cabral, no, we remove also the teacher portfolio presentation or the production of the teacher portfolio and reduce yung number of relevant documents for multiple objectives. So as you can see, for teachers using the Proficient tool, from 48 MOVs in the previous implementation, it's now down to at least 7. So later on, we'll discuss what are these 7, how come that we already reduced po from 48 to 7. And then for highly proficient teachers, ayan po, no, the teachers using highly proficient tool, specifically among the ranks of our master teacher. So from 54 to at least 5. So the reason or the rationale behind the reduction of the documents is that the technical working group were able to analyze there are certain MOVs that can be presented as a means of verification that can serve as a cross-cutting, cross-cutting document serving multiple objectives. So you don't need to produce 2 copies, 3 copies for different indicators po or objectives na nire-require po sa atin even for classroom observation or even at the non-classroom observable indicators. Also, no portfolio shall be submitted and collected. So later on, I will discuss specifically what do we mean by that. No? Okay, but initially, Yusek mentioned that teachers should have their own repository, which will be discussed later. Okay, so, and the last one is we were able to strengthen coaching and mentoring. Specifically, in a way, inayos po natin yung schedule for our master teachers so that they can also focus and give time for coaching and mentoring. Okay? Sige po. So that's the salient feature of the interim guidelines for PMES, guidelines for teachers. Now, let's go to the purpose. So we discussed the overview, but now why we have these interim PMES guidelines for teachers. So the first one, it lifts the suspension of the implementation of the performance management system for teachers, specifically for school year 2024-2025. And the second one, our goal, and based on the instruction of the secretary, is that we need, and also with the directions given to us by Undersecretary Cabral, is to simplify the process and the requirements for our teachers. So in these interim guidelines, especially sa mga nakabasa na po, no, hope that you saw that we were able to simplify the process and the requirements for the performance evaluation of our teachers. And the last one, which is very important, this year, or school year 2024-2025, is the completion of the 37 indicators under the second cycle, or the second cycle, no? So meaning our first cycle following and completing the 37 started way back 2018-2019 na inulit po natin noong 2019-2020, and then 2020-2021 and school year 2021-2022. So that's the first cycle. The second cycle, which comprises of the 3-year annual performance management evaluation system, started in 2022-2023 and then 2023 to 2024, and this year, or this school year, concludes po the 3-year annual cycle for its second cycle of the performance management system. So meaning, makukumpleto na po natin yung 37 indicators, which later on, our teachers will need for other HR system or purposes of the performance management system. Okay. Now, let's go to the scope of the guidelines. Definitely, it covers all teachers in public elementary and secondary schools, including teachers in the community learning centers, such as regular teachers, our ALS teachers, madrasa teachers, iPad teachers, special needs education teachers, and special science teacher. So starting fourth quarter of school year, which will commence next week. Tama po ba? Starting Feb 17 until April 15, 2025. Okay? So that's the scope of our interim guidelines. Now, let's move to the cycle. Mrs., meron bang pagbabago sa cycle po natin? Definitely po, interim PMS guidelines for teachers, as I mentioned, will start next week po, no, for school year 2024-2025. So the performance assessment, especially for the classroom observable indicator, shall conducted only upon the issuance of this BM 17-2025, meaning which was issued already. So the performance assessment will start next week, using pa rin po the 4 cycle, even in the span of the quarter. Okay. So, yun po yung ating timeline as far as this PMS cycle for school year 2024-2025. Okay, so the next few slides will actually present po the PPST-based objectives for, let's start first with the proficient tool for teachers. So, ito po yung 9 COI or classroom observable indicators, which for sure we are confident that in one way or another you're 8 COI, sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, na-confuse wala ako dun sa objective. 8 COIs for the proficient tool for teachers, and then we have 6 NCOI for the proficient tools. So, non-classroom observable indicators. Okay. So these are for teachers 1 to 3. Now, for our teachers using the highly proficient tool, basically ating po mga master teachers 1 to 4, and we have 4 classroom observable indicators. And then we have 12 non-classroom observable indicators for proficient tool. So, yan po yung kasama to complete our 37 indicators for the 3-year full cycle. So, in total po, yan. Only 14 PPST-based objectives shall be assessed for school year 2024-2025, both for classroom observable indicators and non-classroom observable indicators. As I mentioned earlier, the plus factor shall not be included in the list of the objectives in this year 14 PPST-based objectives. The non-inclusion of the plus factor in the list is the idea is that we want to focus the performance evaluation on the teacher's job, which is to teach. Okay? So, tatanggalin na po natin yung mga ancillary tasks or other non-teaching related tasks na ina-include po, doon po sa plus factors. Kaya tinanggal na po natin yan. Okay? Clear so far? Nakakasunod po? Pa-thumbs up po kung nasusundan po ang ating session. Ayan, sige po. Thank you so much. Now, let's move to the assessment phase, how we will be assessed or how you will assess. So, the first one is paano i-assess yung classroom observable objectives. So, as mentioned, meron po tayong option. Tayo po ay binigyan ng option. The teachers will be provided with flexibility to choose among the 2 options, either one of the two option ha. Baka po mag-require na dalawa po. Kaya po may pamimilian, pipili lang po tayo ng isa. Okay, so what are these options? Option A, yan, 2 full period classroom observation within fourth quarter with objectives or classroom observable indicators distributed across observation. So distributed sa dalawa, no? So that's the first option. So meaning dalawang classroom observation pero yung objective po na ita-target or the indicators distributed across the two classroom observation. Option B, isang period po. One full period classroom observation in, okay, one full period classroom observation in fourth quarter covering all objectives. So meaning isang classroom observation, full session of the subject. In-observe po tayo. So yun po. So what do we mean by that? To further elaborate po, no? The next one, yan. So yung 2 full period classroom observation, so yan po, distributed yung objectives. So halimbawa, you choose objective 3, 1, 3, 4, 6, and 8 sa unang classroom observation. And then, dun sa pangalawang classroom observation, as you can see po, no, may mauulit po kasing indicator. Okay? And then, ita-target po natin yung mga hindi na-observe nung last time. So, yung green po is for the proficient tool. The blue one po ay yung para sa ating mga master teachers who's using the highly proficient tool. So, pwede rin po, may option po kayo na first full period, first ay tatargetin po natin, yan, 3, and then the second full period ay, so, yung distribution po ay prescribed po yung distribution. Okay, so meaning ito po yung pagkaka-distribute. Okay. Ngayon, marami po nagtatanong. So, kahit hindi pa po natin natatanong sa ating FAQs. So, curious. Mrs., ano po ba yung ibig sabihin ng full period? So, meaning, full period means entire class period. So, for example, if your class is 40 minutes, in 40 minutes, yan, kukumpletuhin po ninyo yun. And then, kung 60 minutes yung subject po, na doon po kayo magpapa-observe, then 60 minutes. Okay? Naiintindihan po? Okay, so, yun po yung ibig sabihin ng 2 full period. Okay, next, option B. Ayan. So, ito po, for some, ayan po, no? Medyo sabi nila, ma'am, mabigat ito kasi 8 indicators. But, that's why po we give some flexibility which one you will choose po, no? So the option B naman po ay 1 full period, meaning in 1 classroom observation, dapat po matatarget, may hit po natin itong mga indicators na to sa subject po na doon po tayo ma-observe. Okay? So for teachers who will choose option B, so in 1 class, entire class period, yan. So, dapat ma-hit po yung 8 indicator. Okay? Sa highly proficient tool naman po, sa 4 po yan, dapat ma-hit po yung lahat ng 4 na indicator. Okay? Clear so far ulit? Thumbs up po nga kung nasusundan po tayo, ha? Okay. So, ang sabi po dito ay, ayan, mamimili lang po tayo sa 2 option. Okay, hindi po pwedeng combine. Okay. Now, let's move to, ayan, revisiting again, paano pa rin ni-assess yung classroom observation process. So, just to give you po, no, an idea how we will be able to do yung ating pong classroom observation. So, yun po, no? First one is that the ratee and the rater should agree on the schedule of classroom observations. Okay? Second, the rater and the ratee should have scheduled a pre-observation conference or meeting. Ano man po yun. So, that mag-uusap po sila. And then the teacher or the ratee shall submit lesson plan at least 1 day before the scheduled classroom observation so that the rater will be able to review the lesson plan. So for proficient teachers, their lesson plans, activity sheets, or assessment materials shall be given an appropriate ratings in the IPCRF using the proficient tool as a basis for its demonstration and achievement of Objective 2, the PPST Indicators 2.2. So for the performance evaluation, purposes of performance evaluation po, no, the master teacher should not edit the teacher lesson plan to be used in the observation during the pre-observation conference. So instead, lesson plan improvement should be addressed during mentoring or coaching session where the MT can provide technical assistance to support effective instruction. Not just only for master teacher, but also head teachers who served as rater. They should not edit the teacher lesson plan to be used in the observation during the pre-observation conference. So, dapat preventive po, no? So, dapat yung pagko-coach po natin at pag-i-edit ng lesson plan should happen, no, during the technical assistance session or during the coaching and mentoring session. Okay? So, that's the reminder lang po during the pre-observation. Now, let's move to actual observation. So, during the actual observation naman po, ayan, the ratee or the teacher shall deliver the entire lesson. Classroom observation shall be done throughout, no, full period, entire class period. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. And then the ratee shall only use observation notes, no, during the classroom observations. Okay? And for highly proficient tool, for teachers, colleagues shall be allowed to observe as part of the mentoring and coaching activities amongst the master teachers po. So yan. And that is in a way self-explanatory as presented in the slide. Okay. And then the next one, post-observation. Okay. During the post-observation, the raters, it is now the time that the raters rate the performance of the teacher using the classroom observable tool appropriate to the teacher's level. So, yung for teacher 1 to 3, and then for master teacher 1 to 4. In our presentation, usually it's color green and blue. No, although we are seeing context naman, once you reproduce it, it's called color black. But just to remind everyone na meron po yun na tag or title po, title header, which tool yung appropriate sa teacher na ino-observe. Okay. The second important thing po during the post-observation is what we call the inter-observant agreement exercise. So raters or observers, kung halimbawa 2 or 3 po yung makakapag-observe for big schools, ayan po, no, they shall meet to discuss the individual ratings given. The final rating, ito po yung lagi po naming nire-remind. The final rating shall not be an average. No? Hindi, for example, yung usual po natin ginagawa, dati pa. No? So kung 3, ako ay 4, siya ay 5, siya ay 3. So, ina-add po yun and then ina-average po. Hindi po ganun. But a final rating should be based on reasoned and consensual agreement. So, meaning, they should discuss amongst themselves ano yung teaching practice that they saw during the classroom observation and they should agree on ano yung final rating. Okay? And the last one is what we call the post-observation conference, wherein the ratee shall conduct a post-observation meeting or conference with the ratee to discuss his or her experience and performance during the classroom observation. The idea here is that this is something, or this is not a session where to pinpoint what's wrong, or if ever we were able to identify, but we should take note that yung just to highlight areas for improvement for teachers, and then areas that he or she need to strengthen or improve, as you observe, yung mga rater po doon. This is not to blame or to give that impression that may mali, but there's an area that we need or the teacher needs to improve during the post-observation conference. And we would like to remind po all our rater who's here, especially our head teachers and master teachers. Gone are the days that we, in a way, find fault and then for somehow make po yung anxiety for our teachers on observation. Rather, we want a friendly, a peer-to-peer mentor coaching environment for our teachers for us to excel better. Gone are the days wherein kalaban po natin ang ating kapwa mga guro, but we're here to actually improve yung teaching practice of all our teachers in the school. So, yan po yung environment that we want within the context of the school. Okay? Sige po. Now, tapos po tayo for a reminder doon sa ating classroom observable objective. Let's move to the non-classroom observable objectives naman. So, ratees shall provide evidence and documentation of demonstration and achievement of objectives promptly rather than waiting for the year-end assessment. So, ito rin naman po ay ini-encourage natin sa ating mga guro. Dahil po, alam natin na medyo marami-rami pa rin po yung trabaho natin kahit nabawasan na po tayo ng mga ancillary tasks. So we encourage our teachers na from time to time where we were able to produce na po certain MOVs within within certain period. Ayan. Iayos na po natin siya pa isa-isa. Hindi yung kung kailan pa March na po or April na po, saka pa lang tayo nagkukulit. Although hindi po talaga maiiwasan, but somehow, if we try to do that, yung burden kasi is may isin siya because, you'll not dedicate so much time just to collate and then sort out ano yung pwedeng MOVs po ng present. So meaning such MOVs and documents, there are documents and evidences that are cross-cutting, can serve as a cross-cutting MOVs targeting multiple objectives. When we say cross-cutting, meaning, for example, I have one document that can serve indicator, example lang, indicator 2 and 4. So, meaning you don't need to reproduce 2 copies. Instead, you will just put a note there that this MOV specifically is for 2 indicators na. So, dito po kasi tayo nagkakaproblema from previous experience and share sentiments din po. Wherein, yung burden of reproducing because we need to produce certain X number of documents for each objective. Kaya po sa ating mga raters na nandito, huwag na po natin silang obligahin na i-produce. Halimbawa, MOV indicator 1. Tapos, yun din naman yung gusto pa rin nila nakikita na doon within the portfolio or within the envelope na ipapresent. So, huwag na po tayo mag-require. Ang sinasabi lang po dito, 1 MOV can serve and target multiple objectives, but it doesn't necessarily mean you need to produce certain numbers just to serve for each objective. Okay po? Klaro po iyon ha? Yan, sa mga school head na, kung meron pong school head na nandito, master teacher and head teachers, bawasan na po natin yung pagre-require ng napakadaming numbers of MOVs. Okay, next one is that the rater then shall assess the evidence and provide ratings using the tool appropriate to the level of teacher. So, as previously mentioned, we need to be sure whether the tool that we are using is for the proficient tool and the highly proficient tool. Would like to put emphasis lang on the highlighted photo here in the slide. So, it says, no portfolio for performance assessment shall be collected. So, siguro yung tanong po ng iba, ma'am, paano po iyon? Kung wala na pong portfolio, paano po namin sila ma-assess at ganun din sa mga teachers, paano po kami i-assess? Ang ibig sabihin lang niyan is that, as I've mentioned a while ago, teachers should maintain own repository or folder for the materials and documents that we use. So when it's time for evaluation, all you need to do is to present to the rater yun pong documents that will serve as an MOV for the different indicators for this school year. So no need na po to photocopy. So, kung rater and ratee conference or the evaluation time na po, ipipresent lang po. And then, the rater should rate accordingly which portfolio ang nai-hit po yung multiple objectives where the portfolio or the MOVs serve its purpose. Okay, so yung goal natin dito, bakit hindi na nire-require yung portfolio, ayun pong mga problema po na encounter natin, as mentioned in the first slide. Yung to minimize yung expenses for producing the portfolio. Okay. Kami rin po sa central office were members of some certain job groups or certain chat groups, teachers, page. We saw some, business selling portfolio. Kasi portfolio, ang gagawin na lang po, ilalagay na lang po yung teacher. So, it added cost. Plus, for business for the others, but burden of expenses po for others. Okay. Although, ina-avail po ng ating mga guro, yung mga pre-printed portfolio, but then again, yun po, we discourage that. And for this school year, no need na po mag-present ng napakagandang bulaklaking portfolio. Ayan. So, during the rating, we encourage po na ipipresent na lang po ni teacher sa rater yung pong mga MOVs po niya. So, ang responsibilidad na lang po ng mga guro ay let's have a repository, whether digital or nakasave lang po sa USB natin or sa mga laptop, digital or hard copy, ng pong mga MOVs, ano po yun, lesson plan, mga regular documents na ginagamit po natin sa MOVs po ng mga teachers. So let's have that responsibility na but as early as time, ang sabi nga po dyan, promptly rather than waiting for end of year assessment. Okay? Clear po? Clear po tayo doon about sa no portfolio for performance assessment shall be collected or required. Okay, so sana po klaro po iyon sa lahat ng mga master teacher, head teacher, and school head na nandito po. Taas ang kamay po kung naiintindihan po ang ating session at this point in time. Ayan. Sige po, salamat. Okay, next po. Another feature of these interim guidelines for our teachers is what we call in strengthening the coaching, mentoring, and performance monitoring. So part of this interim PMES is what we call yung frequent short period and walkthrough or observation. So ito po yung mga strategy that we were able to identify, and we actually encourage our master teachers and raters who are here by employing this strategy. So the first one is yung frequent short period and walkthrough observation. So the first one is what we call yung monitoring by walking around strategy. So, this is approximately 10 to 15 minutes, non-rated, formative, and developmental. Okay? And the next one is yung usual, no, yung regular monitoring and provision of technical assistance on teaching and learning process and material. So meaning regular monitoring and targeted technical assistance. This is the part where we, for example, teacher A will have a meeting, coaching session, or mentoring session with our raters. So complemented with immediate and constructive feedback. So not just only, as I've mentioned po, no, we minimize as much as possible, only finding fault, but our role as coach and mentor of our teachers is for them to be better on what they do. No? Wag na po yung hindi po ang goal natin ay paglitan, i-highlight ang mali, kanyan. But it's more of making sure that we share the same, we share and we have possessed po same expertise teaching, practice expertise po na meron tayo as being a master teacher or head teacher. So tayo po bilang mga leader in our respective classroom or department or level or section, yan po, no. Ang goal po natin being tagged as leader mentor is for them to be better than us. Okay? So yun po yung goal natin as a leader. Okay, and then part of this is yung tracking and recording of significant incidents, no? Na nagawa po ng ating mga inobserbahan. Now, just to address some issues on this, no, especially yung sa schedule ng atin pong mga master teacher, head teacher, kasi yun po, no, based on the DO5 Series 2024. Thumbs up nga po kung nabasa na po yung DO5 2024 o yung atin pong teacher's workload. Yan. Meron po ba na nakabasa? Ayan, so meron naman po. Sabi po dito is that master teachers, no, shall render 6 hours of actual classroom teaching and 2 hours shall be allotted to teacher ancillary tasks incidental to the teacher's normal teaching duties. So yung karamihan po sa mga concern ng ating mga master teacher and head teacher or the rater, even the school heads, say, ma'am, wala na po kaming time. Kami kasi po ay full load. Okay, we understand that. Now, in the DO5 po, no, nakalagay po doon that while you are given full time, you will be compensated for hours rendered dedicated for coaching and mentoring. So, paano po yun? Nakalagay po doon that yung coaching, mentoring, and provision of technical assistance shall be treated as an ancillary task. And you will be compensated for a vacation service credit if performed beyond the 8-hour period or within the workday. So, makakaipon po tayo ng vacation service credit. All you need to do is like documented, scheduled lang din po. Thumbs up po if clear for our raters na nandito sa session. Klaro po yun? As so schedule, thumbs up, thumbs up. Yan, sige po. So that's for strengthening, coaching, and mentoring. Okay? Sige po. Now, let's move to naman, ano yung kailangan nating makita, no? In assessing. Or ganun din po para sa ating mga guro. What are the performance measure for classroom observable indicators and non-classroom observable indicators? So for classroom observable indicators, ayan po, i-measure po natin both, no? Both the quality, ayan, quality and efficiency. So it will be measured throughout the full period of classroom observable. For non-classroom observable indicators, only quality shall be measured through assessment of available means. In the PMES guidelines po, all indicators or all objectives 1 to 14 has been provided with equivalent weight percentage, which is 7.143% each. indicator totaling to yan, 100% po. Okay? Now, ito yung pinaka-importante po. No? Now that we know that meron po siyang equal percentages of weight, let's move to computation of rating. First one ay yung for classroom observable indicators. Ayan. Sa mga may ginagawa po, focus muna po tayo dito. Okay? Sige po. So, meron po tayong, kanina po no, doon sa pinakita ko sa slide, meron po tayong tinatawag na repeating objectives. Kasi lalo-lalo na po kung hahatiin po, no, ang pinili nyo po ay yung option A, which is 2 full periods. So, the final rating shall be computed by averaging the quality rating. So, nandun din po ito sa tool. So, halimbawa po, yan, look at this. Si Teacher 3, ang gamit niya po ay proficient tool. Ang pinili niya po ay option A, meaning 2 beses po siya na-obserbahan. So, yung first, ayan. So, yung COT rating sheet 1 niya, ayan. Ang first rating niya po sa same objective or indicator ay 6. And then, yung pangalawang rating niya po doon sa same indicator po ay 5. So, i-convert po muna natin siya into the PMS rating. Ayan. Sorry. Meron po tayong tinatawag na PMS 5-point rating scale. So, yung 6, ang equivalent niya po ay 4. And then the 5, ang equivalent niya po ay 3. So, pag in-average po iyan, lalabas po dyan ay 3.5. Then, saka lang po natin siya ipapasok po doon sa PMS rating transmutation table, which is nandun din po sa interim guidelines. So, ang final rating niya would be for this repeating objective ay 4, which is very satisfactory. So, hindi po siya directly averaging. This is for repeating objectives. Same goes with Master Teacher 2, yung highly proficient tool din naman. So, kung may dalawa po siyang rating, hanapin po muna natin yung PMS 5-point rating scale. So, yun po yung bibigyan natin siya ng score. And then, yung 5-point scale rating na dalawa, yun po yung i-average, not the 2 COT rating. Nasusundan po? Thumbs up nga kung nasusundan po. Okay. Thumbs up. Ayan. Sige, nag-hands up sila. Sige po. So, after the 5-point rating scale, yun ang i-average natin. And then, once we got the average, titingnan po natin yung PMS transmutation table. So, ito, case nito, 3.5 din. So, yung score niya dito, final PMS rating for quality is 4. Okay? Clear po? Sige. So, now, let's move naman to the, ayan, COI. Especially yung efficiency naman. Sa efficiency po, no? Tingnan natin ang efficiency. So, sa efficiency, ayan. So, again, this is for repeating objectives, no? Especially sa 2 full periods classroom observation. So, halimbawa, yung first full period observation 1, yung rating sa efficiency po ni teacher ay 5. No? And then, yung second observation niya, yung rating niya ay 3. Okay? So, sa efficiency, direct averaging na po natin siya. Okay? Pero, if you look at average, so, titingnan nyo na po dyan. So, kung ang average niya po ay nag-fall, let's say, in this example, yung average niya, yung 5 plus 3 divided by 2 ay 8. And then, divide 2, then 4 po yung average niya. So, nagfo-fall po siya sa efficiency final rating na 5. Okay? Kung halimbawa naman po, nag-fall yung average ni teacher. So, if this is for efficiency, kanina, diniscuss po natin equality. For efficiency, halimbawa, nag-fall siya sa 3.1.5. Ano po ang efficiency final rating niya? Okay. So, 3 po ang final rating niya. So, yung PMS rating efficiency, so kung 5, 5 outstanding. Okay? Nakita niyo po yung difference ng dalawa between quality, repeating objectives, and this one that I'm discussing, efficiency, repeating objectives po. Kita po yung difference sa dalawa? Sige nga po, pakita nga po ng thumbs up, hindi po raise hand. Thumbs up po, thumbs up. Kung naiintindihan na po yung dalawa. Ayan, hindi ko makita yung thumbs up. Sige. Now, punta na po tayo sa exciting part. No? Ito po yung matrix of documentation. Ayan, may nagre-raise pa rin talaga ng hand. Okay. So, yung matrix of documentation, tingnan po natin na bakit kaya sinabi ni Mrs. na from 48 MOVs, magiging 7 na lang. Oh, sa master teacher, parang 5 na lang. Sige po. Let's discuss muna yung matrix of documentations for teachers 1 to 3. Okay. So, ito po, no, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 classroom observable indicators. Ayan. So, ano ba yung proof MOV nito? COT tool rating sheet or inter-agreement form done through on-site, face-to-face, in-person classroom observation. Okay. Number of MOVs, kagaya na sabi ko, kung 8 iyan, hindi nyo kailangan pong i-produce 8 copies. You just need 1 or 2 COT. Kung ang pinili po ninyo ay option A na 2 classroom observation, yan. So, 2 COT sheet ang ipipresent po ninyo. Pero kung ang pinili po ninyo ay option B, which is all indicators, yung 8 indicators po in full period or entire class period, then isang MOV lang po isang COT sheet lang po yung ipoproduce po ninyo. Clear? Clear po? Nakuha? Thumbs up? Sige po. I assume clear. Next po, yan. So, sa NCOI naman po, ayan o, tingnan po natin. So, yung NCOI, let's say objective 2, anyone. Sabi ay anyone of the following used in each full classroom period observable. So, halimbawa po, ang napili po ninyo sa class, halimbawa, option A. So, 2 beses po. Okay. Sorry. Anyone. So, any of lesson plan. Yung lesson plan, pwede po yan, halimbawa, sa mga kasama po nating ALS teachers, tawag nila ay terminology po of their lesson plan. So, meron pong pwedeng DLP, daily log lesson, WHLP, WLL, lesson exemplars, and the likes. Basta, it entails about lesson plan. And then, activity sheets, or assessment materials, or others, which you seem or find related, that will, support yung atin pong NCOIs. Take note, sa NCOIs po, with annotation describing the use of research-based knowledge and principles of teaching and learning process. Okay, number of MOVs, again, 1 or 2. Yan po yung maximum. Hindi po 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, padamihan. Again, this is not about quantity of MOVs produced. Rather, we focus on the quality and the delivery of the classroom observation. Okay? So, that's the... Okay. Mrs., yung sabing annotation, paano po ba yun? Okay? So, annotation can be a marginal note on the main document or MOV. Which, for example, lesson plan. So, pwede lang po doon may marginal note or pwede naman din po siyang separate sheet of paper. Which is, yun po, available or convenient for our teachers. Now, let's move to, another naman po, objective 10, let's say. This is another NCOI. So, ang sabi po dito, this objective 10 is PPST 4.3.2. So, ang sabi po dito ay anyone. Hindi po produce all 4. Okay? Any one of the following. Proof of implementation of learning programs. Example, progress report, accomplishment report. Or, Proof of contextualization, localization, and indigenization of learning programs, i.e. progress report, technical report. Pwede po yun. Or, proof of adaptation of learning programs, or action plan, activity proposal, activity matrix for adaptation and implementation of learning program. With annotation describing the relevance and responsiveness of the learning programs to the needs of all learners. Again, annotation can be a marginal note on the main document, MOV, or in a separate sheet. Okay? NCOI Objective 11. Okay. Objective 11, take note of the highlighted MOVs. As you can see, nakalagyan, anyone, either communication letter about the program, project, or activity that highlights maintaining learning environments that are responsive to the context need, or minutes of a consultative meeting or community stakeholders meeting or program. Project activity that highlights maintaining learning environments that are responsive to the community context with proof of attendance. Or project program activity plan that highlights maintaining learning environments that are responsive to community context. Or report on implementation or completion of the program, project, or activity that maintains learning environment responsive to the community or context. Again, any one of these listed MOVs. Isa lang po. Isa lang. Next, Objective 13. Okay, under Objective 13, which is PPST 6.3.2, again, any one of the following: minutes, notes of coaching and mentoring, session, meetings of GDs with collegial discussion, or teaching material with annotation highlighting the objective, sample, lesson plan, activity sheet, assessment materials, others, or reflection notes. Okay, that will explain or will highlight the support, yung evidence po to the indicators na tinarget po. Next po ay Objective 13, sorry. Any one again of the following: proof of participation or involvement in a school community partnership for the implementation of the school policy procedure, or minutes of parent-teacher conference, stakeholders meeting about an implemented school policy procedure with the proof of attendance, or proof of participation, involvement in a school community partnership for the implementation of a school policy or procedure. Or the last one, an option also, accomplishment report. So, mamili lang po kung ano po yung available. But then again, if you, yun po, annotation or explanation about yung evidence support po the indicators target. Okay. And the last one for the proficient tool is Objective 14, which is PPST 7.2.2. Ayan, mamimili lang po ulit kayo. Kasi sabi po dyan, anyone. Okay? A reflection/journal entry that highlight practices that uphold the dignity of teaching as a profession, or annotated evidence of practice but not limited to the following. So, pwedeng documented feedback from superior colleagues, stakeholders, reflecting the rated good practices that uphold the dignity or teaching as a profession, remarks from a superior colleagues or master teachers school about one qualities. Entries can be, it can include po or included doon sa ating PMCF or the Performance Monitoring and Coaching form, or in the media review form. So, pwede nyo po yun na isama as MOV. Then, you're done with this indicator. The next one is recognition from your school community about one qualities, whether on the spot or a criteria, rewards, or recognition from your school. Pwede po iyan. Okay? And others, yan. i-specify na lang po, basta importante po in the specification is that you'll be able to explain po how the evidence presented support the indicators na tina-target po, no? And then now, let's move to the highly proficient tool. So, medyo for COI and for COI, ayan. So, meron pong 4 COI objectives. Again, 1 or 2 classroom observable tool lang ang ipoproduce. So, if you choose option A, na 2 full period, then you have to produce 2 COT. If you choose 1, then you just need to produce 1. Okay? And proof of attendance of colleague. Okay? Importante po yan. On the proof of attendance, ng atin pong mga colleague, sa mga master teachers and na nandito po, this can be on the rating sheet or inter-observer agreement form. But if you're prepared and you are ready naman to do a separate attendance sheet, kung marami po yung nandoon po, no, yung attendance po ng ating mga colleagues within a class of observation. Pwede naman po yun. Okay? Sige po. Now, let's move to NCOIs. Ito po, no? Sa 4 na indicator, kailangan nyo lang mag-produce ng isang document in any of the following. 1, proof of attendance in coaching and mentoring session, LAC. Pwede po yan. And then, minutes, notes of coaching, mentoring, session meetings, FGDs, and other collegial decision that highlights the objective. Third option, reflection notes of teachers on the coaching and mentoring session, meeting, LAC session, FGDs, or other collegial discussions that highlights the objective with the proof of attendance. So, importante lang din po yung proof of attendance or PMCF with annotation highlighting these objectives po in the slide. So, pwede po yun. Again, isa lang po ang kailangan i-produce. Okay. Next, NCOI. Po, no? Objective 11, any one again of the following. So, synthesis of evaluation of program, project, activity that maintains the learning environment, responsive to the community context. Pwede po yan. Second option, minutes of consultative meeting with parents, other external stakeholders on programs, projects, and activities that maintain the learning environment, highlighting the evaluations made, again, with proof of attendance. And the next, minutes of focus group discussion with teachers on program, project, activity that maintains learning environment, highlighting the evaluations made with proof of attendance. Take note po, take note of this feature in the MOV or survey on program, project, activities that maintain a learning environment. Okay? So, yan po yung mga kailangan i-produce for Objective 11. Now, we're down to the last objective for Master Teacher Tool. Last 2 pala. Ayan. So, Objective 13, any one again of the following. So, pwede pong evaluation report on the implementation of a school policies, procedures, or minutes of subject area grade level meeting or professional meeting on evaluating school policies and procedure. Next one, minutes of subject area grade level meetings on the implementation, progress of school policies and procedure. Okay. And yung pangatlo po, minutes din siya, but take note of the difference. Minutes of subject area grade level meeting or professional meeting on disseminating information and implementing school policy. So, yun po yung difference. So, pwede pong minutes ng implementation of a school policies, progress, ganyan. Yung isa naman po ay how you disseminate po, no? It's a minutes on disseminating information and implementing school policies and procedure. And the last one, another option ay proof of implementation. So, school policies and procedure. Okay, and the last one, ayan, NCOI. Isa lang po ang kailangan dyan. Reflection notes. Okay, wala na pong iba. Okay? Anyone again of the following? Okay. So now, ito po yung sabi kong exciting part. From 48 na MOVs na kiniklaim po at pinoproduce dati or nire-require, ngayon po ang required lang po for MOV for teachers 1 to 3. Pito or siyam na MOV with a different option within objectives. Okay? And for master teacher 1 to 4, 5 or 6 lang po na MOV. Okay. Nakakataba po ba ng puso iyan? Pa-heart naman po. Ayan. So, these are the total of MOVs, documentations na required for teachers school year 2024-2025. Okay. Now, for the ratee, rater, and approving authority, ayan. So, ito naman din po, no, yung nando din po sa interim guidelines. Just to have a review, just in case hindi pa rin po natin nababasa. Okay, kung ang ratee po ay master teacher or head teacher with teaching load, ang rater po ay si principal or si school head. At ang approving authority, as you can see, kung small and medium divisions and large and very large divisions. Okay? For teacher, ayan, sa mga eskwelahan na walang master teacher, wala ring head teacher, and assistant principal, usually ito yung mga small schools po, with ang teacher po nila ay siguro siyam pababa. No? Ang rater po ninyo ay si principal or si school head pa rin. And again, ang approving authority ay si SDS at si ASDS. Now, for teachers, at saka ALS implementers na school-based, okay? Ang rater po ninyo ay si master teacher or si head teacher or assistant principal. So, principal and school head ang inyo pong approving authority. For ALS implementers, especially ng mga nasa CLC po, no, na hindi naka-attach po sa isang school, ang inyo pong rater ay si EPSA, in charge of ALS, or an education program supervisor in charge of ALS. So, ang inyo pong approving authority ay si curriculum chief of the CID, the Curriculum Implementation Division in your schools division office. Okay? Yan po ang ating rater and approving authority. And then the next one, the tools, forms used by personnel. Kasi marami pa rin pong nalilito dito mga kasama po, no? For head teachers, designated at school head. So, paramihan po ito ay sa elementary, no? Marami po tayo. Siya po ang school head ng school. OPCRF po yung gagamitin po ninyo. Kapag kayo naman po ay head teacher with teaching load, usually ito po ay available or nangyayari sa secondary, mga head teachers, department heads with teaching load, IPCR yung gagamitin po ninyo, but you need to capture the expected administrative tasks and objectives in the highly proficient tool. So, kung meron po doon, pa-take note na lang din po, you need to highlight that. Now, for head teachers without teaching load, pero hindi designated as school head, no? Usually, mga ano rin po ito sa secondary. IPCR rin po ang gagamitin ninyo, anchored on the OPCRF of the school head. Okay? And assistant principal, same din po, IPCRF anchored on the OPCRF of the school head. Now, school head or designated TIC, OPCRF po ang gagamitin po ninyo. Ang rule lang po dito, kung para mabilis po natin maintindihan, kapag po may hawak po kayong eskwelahan with designation po, no, duly signed and issued by the SDS, OPCRF po ang gagamitin po ninyo. Okay, kapag wala po kayong school, yun po, IPCRF anchored on the OPCRF of the school head. Clear po? Clear? Crystal clear. Now, part of, and I'm down to my last slide. Ayan. So, these are the list of the annexes in the interim guidelines. So, in-explain po dyan almost all of the slides that I presented this morning, but may mga specific details na siya. We actually encourage everyone to download all the tools appropriate to your level po, no? So, kung Teacher 1 to 3, you download PMS tool for proficient teacher. Tapos, basahin din po ninyo yung Annex C, Classroom Observation Tools for PMS. So, yung COT, Annex C1 for proficient, COT rating sheet for proficient. So, make sure yung consistencies po of the appropriate level or the tool sa inyo po. And including the inter-observer agreement form and yung Annex D po, yung electronic IPCRF, para hindi na rin po kayo gagawa. May naka-ready na rin po dyan. So, kindly scan the QR code in your screen and it will redirect you to the link where you can find po yung mga nasa screen po na mga documents. Isang paalala lang din po, hindi po ito binibenta. So, wag po tayong bumili kung saan-saan because all of the documents here are free. All you need to do is to maximize its use and download it, read it, and understand it carefully and prepare for your performance assessment happening starting next week. Okay, so I think this is the end of my presentation and with that po, no, we are very fortunate to be with you this morning. And somehow po, no, we were able to shed light on confusion. And at the same time, we're able to discuss it for you to understand it carefully. We are also hoping that somehow, or in one way or another, we ease some burden on the documentary requirements which you experienced previously, and we're very proud together with the team of the National Technical Working Group that we were able to share po, no, some solutions about the experience that we've got from the previous implementation of the RPMS PPST. And with the directives that we've got from Secretary down to our Undersecretary, we highly encourage everyone to understand po and go through all the forms para po medyo hindi po tayo mahirapan. And we appeal, ayan, we appeal also for our school head and teachers and master teachers to somehow do not add anymore on what was required. Okay, so kung sinabi po dyan na iisa lang, huwag po nating papreproducein ng 10 yung mga teacher, no? So let's be part of the solution and not to add po, no, to a administrative burden that they are encountering. So we hope that we were able to shed light on that, and we are happy our team po, no, headed by our unit po, no, RPMS unit headed by Liz and Mikay. We're very happy to receive all constructive feedback and also concerns how we will be able to improve the performance management system for our teachers. This is the tool for our teachers, created by our teachers, other than po anyone else. So this is for you. Let's maximize it and grab that opportunity to improve our teaching practice in the context of a collaborative and constructive and at the same time po helping environment, no? Something that we share and we care para po sa mga bata. So magandang umaga po sa lahat at marami pong salamat.
So, nakikita nyo po sa screen ang link kung saan ninyo pwedeng ma-download ang mga tools and forms for school year 2024-2025 na i-discuss dito sa orientation ng PMES. Ayan. So, pwede nyong iscan yan, then i-download na. Ayan. So, sana nakatulong itong video na ito para mas maunawaan po natin ang bagong PMES tools and forms sa school year 2024-2025. Maraming salamat!